got a pickup. I got a toy pickup, a drop off. It's pretty cool. I'm somewhat excited. I believe we have 4 new items to add to the show, and we're going to talk about the show for a minute here as well. So, first off, before we start the pickup, what's going on with the show? How come the lives have been more difficult? Well, here's the thing. My schedule recently changed extraordinarily, and I've been working a lot of overtime. I'm talking, I get up at like 4:30. I leave my house at 6. I sometimes don't even get back to my house until 7 o'clock at night, easily. I'm working no less than 10 hours a day, 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week. And it has very blatantly affected the way that the show is working, because by the time I get home and get my stuff together and put everything aside and take care of the dogs and everything else, I'm out of time. Like, I've got like 2 hours before I have to go like pick my wife up and do all my other stuff, and it's not working. So it's been very hard to get on and do a live. We got to do one, and it was a very short live, and we opened like 2 figures. Not that I hated the fact that we did it, but it's not the same thing. Now, that being said, it seems like what was going on at my job is finally starting to calm down. So while I will more than likely still be working 6 days a week, I will return to my regular 8-hour days, it seems. This is still in question as to when this will happen. I might still have 1 or 2 more weeks of this going on like this before that actually starts to take place. But if it does, we can get back to a regular program. And because I've already finished a couple of other situations that were taking place, my schedule should actually even out, and we should be able to pick an actual day for the lives to take place. Maybe it becomes like a Wednesday hump day kind of thing, like, hey, we're halfway through the week, let's talk toys. Maybe that'll be like a thing. I don't know. I'm still working on it. I've got to figure out what my free time is going to be and when I can guaranteedly work something like this out. I don't want them to be random. I want us to be able to get kind of like a schedule so that people will have an idea that even if you don't get a notification, hey, Bill's usually on Wednesdays, and maybe you'd be able to check and say, oh, he is on, or something must have been going on today, he's not there. What happens when we run out of things to open is another question that came up that I feel that I should say something about. To be as ridiculous as to believe that we will always have more than enough to open is ridiculous. There are going to be dry spots of figures, like areas where it's simply not happening. Like there are going to be figure droughts. We know this. Sometimes too much stuff is cool. Sometimes almost nothing is really cool at the moment. Sometimes we have money, sometimes we don't have money. And it's very determinant on, like, you know, what's going on, who knows, and then we've got to figure it out. So if that starts happening, the show will be more about updates, and of course talking about toy news, and we will do things like window shopping and things of that nature. We're going to stay primarily to the same kind of idea that we've been doing. Everybody's able to ask their fandom questions and things of that. We'll be able to talk about news and things like that and figures that are coming out. We'll do window shopping on things like Big Bad and Entertainment Earth and other people's sites and whatnot. So that all can easily come back, and we're not going to have to lose anything in terms of that. So that out of the way, what did we pick up? What is being added to the show? Because some of these are really, really cool. Okay? Like, there's one I'm really excited about. Let's just get that one out of the way right now. I picked up a video game. Why is that being added to the Toy Talks? Well, because this video game, this is the Tomb Raider Xbox 360. This was the collector's edition. Why is this a big deal? Because it came with a Lara Croft figure. And if I'm not mistaken, this figure in particular is the 8-inch Play Arts Kai figure. I'm almost positive that's what it is. It's a Play Arts Kai. She won't fit anything in terms of the rest of the collection. She's not going to be something I can really put and like have her hanging out with other figures. It's not going to happen. She's too big. But that being said, I don't have any Tomb Raider figures. And I don't think that they really make them in any kind of mass that would make them easy to get my hands on either. So when I came across this at a collector's shop, never opened, it's still wrapped, I said, holy crap. So I started looking around. It seems the figure relatively can go for about $90. Open, loose. I found her a little cheaper, and I found her a little more expensive in all honesty. I guess it just depends. You shop around. But this is one of my favorite games ever made. Like, hands down, no joke, it really is. If you asked me my favorite Tomb Raider, I have two answers. It's Tomb Raider and it's Tomb Raider Legends. Those are the two games that are my absolute favorite, my go-tos. Buying this will actually give me this tin, by the way, which is the Survivor tin, which is going to be cool because I will be able to use that to store more figure effects and whatnot, which is cool because the other box is starting to get a little packed. I will also get this figure. I will also get a map, which I plan to frame. I will get a really cool Polaroid. Like, this is going to be really cool to open. And we've never opened a collector's box thing, video game-wise, on the show. This has a figure. That's the main reason it's going to be open. Don't expect this to become regular. I do not really even necessarily buy games the same way I do, or the way I did, especially not the way I did. Mainly, when I buy video games now, I've been purposely just kind of buying the digital. And I know some people feel a certain way about that, but physically, I pretty much have all the games I want. There's very few games left that I would need physically, if ever. Like, I know I say this a lot, but like, I'm 41. My attitude towards video games has changed quite substantially. The games that I care to play over and over and over and over and over for the rest of my life as comfort games, I own. I have them. They're mine. I can put them in at any time. I can play them. I can relive my childhood. I'm fine. There's very, very little that I want or need past that point. And then any new game that comes out that I'm interested in, I'm primarily only interested in playing the game. And if it does happen to become some sort of life classic, then maybe I end up having no choice but to hunt down a physical variant of it. But even then, I don't know. I'm not too worried about it. So don't expect this to become a regular thing on the show, but we are actually adding a video game to the unbox. Next, we have a box from Big Bad. So, come on. Bill, act like you've actually used a box cutter, you know, like you did for literally nearly 30 friggin' years of your life. Oh yeah. Same sticker. I'm kind of waiting for them to release a new sticker because I put these on my bookshelves. But we have 3 Joes. What 3 Joes did we get? Well, we are adding Desert Snake Eyes, and I don't care that it's an egregious repaint. I'm very well aware that it's an egregious repaint. And yet, they're my toys. And I actually think this desert camo is somehow one of the coolest looks I've ever seen on Snake Eyes. I don't know why, but this caught my attention hardcore, and I had to add it. So that is being added. Next, we're adding Sergeant Slaughter. This is pretty cool. Like, for multiple reasons. One, I mean, he's Sergeant Slaughter. That's going to be really cool up there with the other Joes, because I know this is one of, like, the main G.I. Joes. But I wanted this one in particular because I actually kind of like his blue. It almost makes me feel like this guy's going to be friends with Guile. And I love that he comes with boxing gloves. I love that he comes with the bag. I love that he comes with these little weights, which I kind of really wanted those weights. He was on sale, which was really cool. I didn't have a Sergeant yet. This is cool. I don't know much about Joes, and we've talked about that. But the ones that I know, the ones that I had as a kid, still kind of stand out in my mind. And he's one of them. So it's really cool to be able to add the Sergeant onto the shelf. And lastly, I got the Commando Snake Eyes. This is really cool. Like, when I was growing up, this was the Snake Eyes I owned as a G.I. Joe. And I'd get a second timber, because we already bought that pack that had the other timber. So now I have a second timber, which is going to be really cool for when wolves attack barbarians. And this just looks like a really, really awesome set. And that is a small pickup, but a pickup nonetheless. That's 4 figures added to the vote. So the next time we do a live, there's a chance that these figures will be on that list for you to be able to vote. Whatever wins the vote, that's what we open, that's what we talk about. That's enough out of me. I've talked about the update for the show. I've talked about the figures I've got. I'm going to get out of here.
I have spoken. Take what you will from